have. This is the time. Let's go into a chat room. What's up, guys? How are you? What's up, Nolan? Welcome, welcome. Another minute and we'll get started. I also want to talk a little bit about ChatGPT 4.0. I want to see if you guys seen everything that you can do. You've been playing around with it. Of course, we've been playing around with it for quite some time. But I think it's a good time to bring it and talk a little bit about that. I see Fede in there. What's up, Fede? I feel always very loud. All right, guys, let's get started. 502 Thursday Tech Talk with Rama. Hope everyone's doing great. You're having a good week so far. We're having an amazing week here in Fanbase. It's been a super, super hectic week because we did have a mid-release yesterday. For those that didn't know, at Fanbase we have 2 weeks development sprints. So that means that every 2 weeks we bring a new release, we bring a new increment, or we bring a fix. And in this case, we decided to do a mid-release, which means that last week we had a release. Yesterday we had another release, and guess what? Next week we'll have another release. But yesterday it was a big milestone for us because we've been working on a new live stream functionality that will really allow us to start building the roadmap that we've been trying to build for the past year or so. Besides that, we also brought the increment of live feed. So if you go to a dynamic search today, you are going to see that now there's lives that are popping up in there. And if you click on the view all lives, you're going to see that now we have a live feed, which means that you're no longer restricted to get visibility by people that follow you. Okay, I know Isaac and I have been talking about this for quite some time, that even though following matters, is starting to die down, meaning that we want to give you visibility to your content beyond your following.
I can't get
and what we
to
just
the
did with live is just an example of that. No longer you will need to be super connected to have visibility. You can actually have visibility if you have great content and you're featured either on the dynamic search or you are inside the feed. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I recommend for you to go ahead and go live, check it out. Now, from a user perspective, I know some of you were like, well, I'm not seeing a lot of difference with what we have. On the live experience itself, we obviously maintain the same aesthetics, right? We did correct some small things. Probably, you know, if you realize, like the counters weren't very accurate, and now they're 100% accurate. So, you know, rather than show you what is the maximum amount of users that were viewing your content, you're going to see the total amount of users that view your content throughout your live stream. So we did take advantage of this, let's call it refactor, where we fix some minor things here and there. But again, the reason why it might look the same besides having the live feed is that now we can start bringing other increments. I want to mention some of them to get you excited. Multi-live. I know one of the things that you saw once we achieve our first million in the race, Cal mentioned we can now start working on RTMP. So we'll be able to bring RTMP under this new infrastructure. So super exciting. I think this is the start of great things. I will mention before I hear from you guys, I want to give you the space to also tell me what you think about the live stream, is that we also implemented a new algorithm that will allow us to monitor and moderate. We're still a humble and small team, which means that we don't have someone or people looking at the lives 24/7. And again, that wouldn't be scalable for anyone. So we did work on a very thorough algorithm that allow us to identify things that could potentially go against our terms of services. With that said, we are in a maturity phase, call it a pilot maturity phase, where we're monitoring, learning, teaching the model as well. So I will ask for a little bit of patience. If for any reason you did feel that your live got cut for something that you were not doing and so on, but it's for all good reasons. So if that happens to you, don't worry. We review those that get cut as well. And if there is a mistake, we correct it, we train it, and you also will hear from us. In fact, we had a few instances, not a lot really, and Vicky and team had already been reaching out and explaining what's going on. So regardless, we're super excited. For those that joined late, I'm actually live streaming this as well through our new live. So I'm live streaming this through the user Rama Tech Talk. So Rama Tech Talk, all lower caps together. You'll be able to see me here. I'm for real. I'm here in the fan-base office on top of the stage. Kyle, come here. I'm going to ring Kyle so you can also see that Kyle is real. But he's also... Sorry?
I'm raising my hand.
Okay, he's physically raising his hand here in the office. Kyle, I'm bringing you to the stage. It's on the stage.
Okay, it did cut off.
So for those that are watching the live through Rama Tech Talk, this is Kyle. So he's right here. Kyle, I need you to go and help me moderate like you always do.
I am.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. All right, guys.
I'm going to bring myself back out to the audience.
That sounds good. Go back to the audience now. I'm just physically pushing me to the audience. Oh, that's fun. All right, guys. So, again, a new release yesterday. If you want to know the version to make sure that you're in the latest one, it should be 2.10.1 for iOS and 2.10.1 for Android. If you have the 2.10, don't worry. You will still have the new live stream. The difference between the 2.10 and the 2.10.1 is just that we did a small hotfix that we wanted to put out there. So as long as you have the 2.10 and above, you're good, and you will be able to enjoy this new live stream. All right? Before I actually share with you everything else that we're doing, because that's just a small piece, I want you guys to tell me a little bit if you have experienced the live stream thoughts. We're obviously, like I said, monitoring, getting logs, understanding the quality, understanding where it's being used, how much is being used, and so on. So I'm very curious to see what you guys thought so far. And if you want to wait until next Thursday to test it more, then that's fine. I'm surprised I haven't heard from Queen Mo yet, but let's see. I'm going to go into the chat room. I love it. It's really high definition too. Yes, we actually wanted to keep it, keep the quality as good as we could. So I'm glad to hear that you thought that way. We thought as well. We're actually going to be doing a very, very interesting and cool activation in June. For those that didn't know, June is Black Music Month. So we're going to be bringing something to a live stream where we're going to also be testing and pushing the sound quality of live to the limit. So I'm glad to hear that you guys are liking the quality there as well. Can we be on both audio rooms and the live feed or just one? I want to check it out. So Sam, it's a very cool concept. We actually been talking about integrating the different verticals, right? If you have audio, be able to go live. If you have live, be able to bring audio. Right now, you're not able to. So what I'm doing is I'm in audio with my user, Rama, created this audio room. And with another phone that I also have an Android phone, guys, so don't get jealous. I have an iOS and an Android. With my Android phone, I went live and I'm streaming through there. So that's what we have today. But we're not discarding in the future doing seamless integrations between the different verticals. All right? All right. Where do I find the live? So actually, that brings me to a good point. The live today, the live feed can be accessible only through the dynamic search. You might be saying, well, Rama, you told us, you brought us this so we can have more visibility. Why is it only accessible through the dynamic live? The reason is because this is just getting started, we wanted to have a maturity time where we were able to monitor and see everything and get information before we actually open it to everyone. So, well, today you can only access through the dynamic search. That everyone has access to dynamic search. In the future, we're going to make it accessible through the main feed as well. Okay? So if you go to dynamic search, you should see my live there and other lives. In the future, we're going to be opening it up even more. Okay? All right. Let's see. All right. Okay, thank you. Memoirs is explaining. I was trying to find it. So could I just pop over there to watch and leave the room, right? Yep, you can, Sam. You can go in and go out of the live stream. You can go in and go out of the audio room as well. So total freedom there. All right. Will you able to download lives and post? Yeah. So now that we have able to download lives, now it's not in the sequence because again we focus on reworking the entire live stream. But those increments that you just mentioned, be able to download and reposting is something that we're now able to do it without problem, which is great. So we're super excited about that. When are we going to get the stream key, Damon? Very soon, very soon. Now that we have this, it's going to be easier than ever to bring RTMP. We want to do it strategically. We don't just want to open it up and see what happens, but now it's coming. We put it as a Q2 objective, RTMP, but because we're still working on the feed refactor and so on, I think it's going to be more of a Q3, but it's going to come 100%, okay? Sam, yeah, it's Rama Tech Talk all together. Mm-hmm. The first one is right. Separate account, exactly. All right, let's see if someone wants to, you know what, Queen Mo, I know you're very excited, so I need to bring you up here. I want to hear from you. Queen Mo,
you know I was excited.
Before you get started, I want you to be a witness of how someone that has been asking for things for a very long time that Fanbase always delivers. You've been around for a while, right? And you've been asking for live increments. And while we're just now starting on the live stream, you can tell the audience how we always deliver.
Fanbase loves us. They get us exactly what we ask for. And it's crisp, it's clean. I'm loving the bare bones of it. I can see all where we're going with it, and I definitely. I did my first live yesterday, my test live, because I usually do my weekend lives. But I did a test live yesterday, and it was very clear. Even down to the data page, I liked that. So, very, very, very useful.
That's great. And it's just the start. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So I will say I saw some people mentioning they would like to be testers when we bring the RTMP. Definitely when we do the RTMP, we might do some beta testing first, and we might do some strategic partnership with some creators. So definitely reach out to tech support and let them know you want to do that. All right, let's talk a little bit about, you might hear some noise in the background. We had some visits today. Every day in Fanbase, someone asked me the other day, I think it was in the Tuesday town halls, I was like, hey, what's the vibe like in the Fanbase office? And the one thing that I say is that you never know what's going to happen. One day you might have a huge celebrity showing up. Another day we might have, 20 kids from one of the HBCU schools coming and getting to know what Fanbase is about. And I think that's what makes it exciting. So if you're hearing some noises, because we have some visits, someone that came and did a press junket here in Fanbase. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the ongoing sprint, because even though we have a mid-release, the other teams, actually every team, is still working on other increments. And I want to mention those to you or remind you if you heard them in the past. We are still working on one of our objectives, which was diversifying payouts, which means that if you are outside the US, UK, Canada, and Australia regions, you will now be able to get paid. We're doing an integration with PayPal, so we're trying to expand the boundaries of paying because we want to pay everyone more and more every day, no matter where you are. So that's being worked right now. We're hoping to release that in a sprint or two. We are also working on 3 monetization functionalities. One of them is complete, is waiting to be tested. The other one we finished refining, and it's around the live stream. So as you can see, now that the live stream is ready to go, we're starting to speed up some of the increments we're going to bring there. So new monetization increments coming up. And the other 2, I cannot tell you what they are, because if I do, you'll know right away what it is. And you know me, I like to have suspense. So just know that it's coming in Q2, ideally all 3 of them. So you will have 3 new ways to monetize inside Fanbase. We're not creating a new vertical for you to expand your, have to do more work. We're actually giving you more tools for you to make money. And sometimes, even though you might not be an expert in the vertical, there's a lot of passive income happening in Fanbase as well. I always say that some people, they take the simple step of migrating their content from TikTok and Instagram, which you can do automatically through the profile, and in 1 week, they made more money than they made in 5 years in those platforms. So once we bring new monetization increments, the fact that you might not be a super user in those verticals does not mean that you're not going to make money in those verticals. When you create content, we're trying to give visibility for that content everywhere. All right. Let's keep on looking at my list. If you're looking at live, you can see that I have my 3-screen computer. I'm a guy that I need at least 2 screens, and now that I have 3, I feel even more productive. So here in my computer, I have the list of some of the increments that we're working in this sprint 93. And
I can read.
Are we good?
There's a question in live.
Oh, there's a question in live? Oh, that's true. I forgot. Hold on. Well, let's wait for the questions, and then I'll tell you. I forgot about that. That's true. People can ask on live. Be patient if you're in live and you ask a question. I'm going to finish telling you about the Sprint 93, and then we'll go into the live questions. All right. So let's continue looking at what else are we working on. We are starting to do another big milestone for us, which is we want to get better at insights. Now, insights doesn't mean just insights to make better business decisions. It's definitely one of the reasons why we do this. We want to make sure that everything that we decide on the product side, on the marketing side, is driven by not only vision, but also insights, what the users are telling us, and a bunch of other variables. But insights also allow us that once we curate those insights, if they're useful to the user, give them to the users. So imagine a feature where you know exactly what type of content gives you the most views and the most money, and what type of audience is the one that engages the one with you the most, from what region, what background, and so on. So we're heading towards that direction, but we got to do some basic work first. And the team is finally starting to work on that insight improvement, which me as a data nerd, I'm super excited. And I think it's going to bring a lot of value to Fanbase and the users as well. Okay. We are continuing, of course, with the feed refactor. That's probably the largest increment we had in the past few years in Fanbase. That's another increment that, while for you might seem that nothing changed, it actually changes the game for us in the future, because we will be able to, for example, bring you something that I promised you 2 weeks ago, which is the carousel. Once we have the feed refactor, we're going to be able to start bringing all these content creation increments that, while they're expected from your side, we haven't been able to do them yet for some technical limitations. And now the platform can actually be you without limits as well. All right, so that's going on. And then obviously we'll continue doing break fix and things that might come up. We did leave a space for things that we might need to iron on the live stream. So we're also going to be doing some break fix. If you see any issues on your live stream, anything that happens, please report it, because that helps us to make sure that we iron out that before we open it up even more in the platform. All right. With that said, Kyle, you said we had some questions on the live stream. Brother, can you tell me the questions?
The first one that I saw was, will we be able to listen to the audio later?
Yes. So one of the great things about the live streams, the new live stream, is that If you decide to save it, because remember, when you finish a live stream, it asks you if you want to save it or not. If you save it, it will be available for 24 hours for anyone in the feed itself. So for those that might have missed my audio room, there will be a recording and you'll see me talking in the live feed where you can go and catch up with everything, okay? So the answer to that is yes. And again, and we're also testing that concept. Eventually, guess what? That live stream is going to go into your feed as well. All right? Any other questions, Kyle?
No, that was
all right, cool. Okay. Any questions? Any comments, feedback? Want to come on stage and ask any questions, give me any feedback. I'm going to go into the chat room.
How are they liking the rev split?
How you what? Oh, yeah. I'll ask them that later on. Definitely. Okay. In-app sharing. Yeah, I know, big scale. I know it's coming. You know, it's one of those things that you keep talking about it, but it gets to a point where it's coming. And I think once we have the field refactor, I think it'll definitely be able to be done much easier. So I see it inevitable that we will have in-app sharing. I mean, that drives virality and engagement inside. We just want to make sure that we do it right when it comes to monetization. That's all. But yes, please keep bringing it. Don't feel like you keep repeating yourself because it helps us, keeps us in line. All right. Let's see. How many picks in each carousel? So we did the refining a while ago, and we had to, usually when you refine an increment and then time goes by, you do want to go back and make sure that you're not missing anything because, things change. So I can't remember exactly how many we had in the past, but we'll definitely have big conversations. If you have, an opinion, you're free to share as well. We consider everything. I remember the app from before. It had a lot of features like chat. Please say that you're all doing an amazing job. Thank you, Nolan. I mean, you're a witness of how long, how much we came, how far we came as a team. I know we still have things to add and things to iron out, but I also take pride when, I go into the app and I use it and I see the people that join, how far we came. Hopefully if you are one of those investors that invested in us in the first round or second or third, you're seeing how we're using that investment. We're growing the product. We're trying to grow our user base with everything that we do. We're trying to bring value to creators and partners. And I think we're in the right direction. So I know we still have a lot to go, but we got to just keep on going. All right. All right. Up to 10 photos in the carousel. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, Kyle is open the questions there. What would you like to see added to the audio room? That's a good question. I know what some of you will say. I will tell you, let's see what the audience comes, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have some items such as recording, scheduling. There's small things that I know we've been talking about doing, such as, when someone calls and having iconography and sounds in audio that can help drive conversation even more. Let's see. Swag, did you get your answer on being able to manipulate the camera? Did I miss is that DJ Swag? Did he ask a question? Let me see. If you can repeat that question, I might be able to answer that for you. You know what's the other great thing, guys, about doing live stream while I do audio? Is that when someone asks a question, makes a statement, you can now also see my expressions and how genuine I can be. So you can see, I hardly get upset. So you guys, if you know me, you'll know that I'm a very positive person no matter what. But you can, you see a lot in people's expression when they talk, right? So I think, let's see. Yes, where it is? Actual growth, it's awesome. The most transparent company I ever invested in. That's great to hear, Nolan. And we want to continue doing that. Promise ourselves two things. No matter how big we are, let's not lose touch with our community that allows us to grow. and also never stop innovating. Like, that's what I think drives everyone here. That every day we have ideas. And, some of them are crazy, but it's like the definition of crazy here in Fanbase is kind of, it's a pretty high bar. It's yeah. Pinning chats to the top so you don't lose the thought or comment. Yeah. DJ Swag has hands raised. I'm gonna bring you up. Sorry, I was immersed in the chat. What's up, DJ Swag? I know you've been testing live.
How are you, man? How's everything?
Doing good. How are you?
Man, yeah. I'm good, man. I love everything y'all doing. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And when y'all talk about different things, you, Kyle, Isaac, when y'all talk about different verticals on that, because everybody likes social audio, it's cool. It's a great place to be. You know what I'm saying? But there are other verticals on this app where you can make money. And if you look at, some similar apps and some of the process that you can take to be able to do the same things on this app, you'll see where it can come. Now, my live yesterday, even though my lives were short-lived, I ain't going to talk about it, Rama. I'm going to let it slide. I'll hit you with a DM. We'll just talk about it in the DM. But I was having some issues with my live as far as, I didn't know if I was saying the wrong words. I didn't know if I was doing the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I even said I love Fanbase 100 times, and I still got knocked off. And I was like, okay, well, it's cool. It's not I didn't take it serious. I know y'all going through some algorithm things or, the updates and stuff. So my whole thing is when y'all talk about shit, I try to go and test it out. I try to go and see what's going on with it to see how it works for me. And I encourage everybody to jump on a live, start a live, talk. Sorry about the background, but you know what I'm saying? Talk about, see some of the verticals and see how they can kind of help you out with some of the things that you're trying to do. So when I was doing it, I was just trying to figure out, I know you guys will be adding some more things to the live, and I'll just stay tuned for the updates. But, I just wanted to, for as far as the camera. So is there a way on the live to be able to mirror yourself in the camera? I don't know, maybe y'all have that coming. Because if I had I had a Fanbase hoodie on and my Fanbase hat, but it was backwards, and there was no way for me to be able to, turn it around if I have a selfie going on. Now, if I have the camera facing the other way, then of course it's straight, but then I can't see the chat. So so I'm asking about the mirror.
So I will start with the first saying that thank you, and that's what we want from everyone. When we have new functionality, I want you guys to challenge us and push us, So I encourage everyone, and we appreciate those that try to be the first ones using new increments that we do and provide feedback. So we appreciate you for that. That's number one. Number two is I do want to explain, when I say the algorithm, the tagging that identifies the live stream, obviously, it's just like a human, it's not 100% right all the time. And because you start using it right at the beginning, based on what happened to you, you helped us improve the algorithm. So I want to say thank you. And I know that after you came back, you didn't go through that again because we fixed it. So again, we're monitoring that very closely. Those that might have been banned and there was a mistake, we're identifying that, teaching the model, and then even contacting you to let you know what happened. But we're not seeing that very often, which is a good sign, but I know it might happen and we will get better. And then on your last question, I will say it is possible. We actually have a proof of concept that we've done with exactly what you're saying. And that's one of the first things I would love to bring as a disruptive functionality, maybe end of Q3. But it is possible 100%. We've been playing around it and it's so awesome that you can see both cameras. So.
Yeah, that's cool. And then the last thing I'll say real quick is that I appreciate the fact that I didn't have to send you guys an email. I didn't have to screen record it because the app sent the email to y'all automatically. I didn't have to do anything. All I got was an email back from you guys saying thank you for the feedback. And I was like, what's going on? Because usually you would have to take a screenshot or, try to screen record whatever's happening with your phone and then send it to whoever's going to fix it. But now it automatically sent it. So good touch on that one. I will say that. Good touch on that one.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. We're getting better, at trying to predict and prepare beyond the increment. Sometimes some of these increments are so technical that you lose yourself with, user experience. What will happen if this happens after we go live and so on? So we're getting better at that. So I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you, Rama. I'll see y'all next time, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm here. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to bring someone else that had the hand up. Let me see. Let me change their mind. Let me try it again. Swan, there you go. What's up? How are you?
How you doing, big one? I'm feeling today.
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. I just wanted to come up here and find out how you felt about. Pretty much, I like the audio rooms and the real-time engagement, and I believe that the way that y'all incorporated the add link feature to the room was kind of like perfect, considering that you can hit the link and not necessarily lose contact with the fan base app while you do it. So, I wanted to ask, was it on the timeline, or what did you feel about giving us the ability to embed content within the audio rooms? Because with the add link feature, you have the ability to connect the audio rooms with other things that you have going on, whether it's chat rooms or websites or what have you. But with the embedded content, we can actually embed things within these rooms so that they'd be here and not necessarily have to leave the app visually as well.
Yeah. So definitely we actually draw an audio roadmap on, I call it media interaction, where basically we're going to go beyond just a link within audio. We have a lot of requests of different type of media that users would like to integrate while they're having conversations. So I know you call it embedded, but definitely we are considering it, and we actually think that will add value, just seeing all the use cases that the rooms are being used for.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right.
That's pretty much all I wanted to speak on, and I appreciate the opportunity. And I love the app, and I love what y'all doing, and I love the growth. And the scale of the app is beautiful. Thank you very much for having
me. Thank you. That's great to hear. Awesome. All right, let me go to the chat room and see what's going on. Chat room is always popping. Let's see. There's more live than social audio. That is true. Team Android, I'm seeing it there. For those that missed it, I actually have an Android phone and an iPhone. I am doing my audio room from my iPhone, and I'm using the live from my Android. So see, I'm a guy, I'm partial, so I like both technologies. Let me see. Wait, we have a live update, Lala. Yes, Lala, we went live yesterday. We have a new live update. For anyone that is here, you must have the latest version, because we did what we call a force update, that we ask everyone to update their app before they continue using Fanbase. And we did that just because the change was so significant that we wanted to avoid any inconsistencies between older versions and new versions. So yes, we went live with a new live stream version. Now you have a live feed. So if you go to the dynamic search, if you click on the search icon and you go to the dynamic search, you're going to see a bunch of lives and was live in there. And if you tap on view more, you're going to be able to see a feed. So now we're giving more exposure to live stream, so you can also connect with the community beyond just following. Okay. Switch to Android. Sorry, I'm going one by one. You guys cracked me up. All right. Wait, other than that I'm confused. I see Big Scale saying schedule posts on all verticals, music in Flix, sizing in Flix. Yeah. We actually have a pretty important meeting with our music advisor, who, by the way, he's awesome. He's the one that brought music to companies like TikTok and so on, and we're laying out a roadmap for music. Bringing music to platforms is not as easy as everyone would think, especially with the licensing and everything, and we want to do it right as well. So I hear you, Iskel. It's all good. We're going to get there, I promise you. All right. Rama's I'm packing your Rama. Yeah, so force update, that's what I did, exactly, yeah. So those that probably you didn't realize that you updated the app, but once in a while, we're trying to avoid it as much as possible. We do need to do a force update. It's just the safest way to maintain a good user experience. Some apps do it all the time. I don't like it at all. I always think about how a user that forgot to update 3 months ago can still be part of Fanbase. There's obviously a limit to that, but we're trying to reduce the force update. But for this one, we had to do a force update. I'm super interested in those that have Android and iPhone, the quality of streaming. How are you going to notice the difference? We can obviously control the quality of streaming. One of the things I didn't mention that those are, techies that will appreciate is that with this new live increment, we brought the concept of dynamic bitrate, which before we were very limited. Dynamic bitrate will allow you to stream, consume less bandwidth, and still be able to have a stable connection if you don't have a good connection out there. All right? So we're starting to get feedback from people in other regions that they don't have strong Wi-Fi, they still have 3G, and we're actually getting feedback that the consistency of the connection, the stability is much better. And one of the explanations is we implemented dynamic bitrate, which is a pretty common but still very powerful variable when live streaming as well. Okay. I hopped over to the live video stream and I couldn't hear very well. Audio was much better in the audio room here. Well, yeah, the reason is I'm using if you look at the live stream, I'm using my AirPod Max Pro for the audio, and I'm speaking directly to the camera. The camera's a little bit further from me in Android, so I can expect that the audio is much better in the audio room than in the live stream, right? I'm going to start experimenting, guys. Don't worry. I'm going to start experimenting. I have some crazy ideas. I want to tell you that I want to bring AI into my audio room as well. So, just bear with me. The next few Thursdays, I'm going to come up with some experiments that I want you guys to give me your feedback on that, okay? All right, let's go back into the chat room and see if there's any other feedback or questions. I see. Why is Rama going live with Android? I'm going to switch next time. In fact, I could also go on audio on my computer as well. For those that didn't know, if you have a MacBook Pro M1 and above, you can also download Fanbase and you can use it from your computer. We actually have a lot of users that use Fanbase on their computer. I personally had a problem with audio on the sound, maybe with my computer. I got to try it again. But sometimes while I'm working, I'm so in the matrix that I actually have the Fanbase app open on my computer. And when I take breaks, I just switch the monitor and I look at it. So, all right, experiments, let's go. Yeah. We try to plan, and we're very formal. We have processes, but sometimes it's okay to experiment, Sometimes it's okay to just say, let's go with it and let's learn. That's what I always say. All right, well, I see there's no more questions or stage, so I'm going to jump into the next topic, which is a little bit of the roadmap and where are we heading. We are almost in the middle of May, in the middle of the quarter. It's crazy how time flies. I want to share a little bit of some of our objectives for this quarter on the product side. But before doing that, I want to say something before I forget, and Kyle reminded me. I'm not sure if you knew, but starting on the 15th, yesterday, we are actually giving 100% revenue to every single user after store fees. Of course, we still got to pay those store fees and those processing fees as well, but we're giving 100% to all the users. So, and this is going to go from the 15th of May all the way to July 15th, okay? So you have 2 months to really take advantage of this and share the good news about Fanbase, bring creators over. Let's prove the concept that if you come to Fanbase, you can make money from day one, and you can even make more money than other platforms as well. So I encourage everyone to, if you know creators, or even if you don't know them personally, just go into their thing and say, hey, you should join Fanbase and try it out. For 2 months, they have 100% revenue. In fact, today, Kyle went live while he was having lunch with some of the team members. And in just 20 minutes, he made $6. And I'm like, Kyle, you just pay for half of your lunch, just by doing that. So I encourage you to create content, bring content creators, and let's push Fanbase. Let's take Fanbase to the limit, because this is the time to do it. We want you guys to make money, and we want to have thousands, or if not hundreds of thousands, of success stories of people that came over to Fanbase and they're monetizing like ever before. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that because that's something that you will notice on your revenue dashboard or your revenue wallet when you look that you have more money than usual, is because we're giving you 100%. All right. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the roadmap and Q2. I'm bringing my roadmap up here. Give me a second. I want to make sure I don't miss anything of what I can. We have a few surprises still for this quarter. There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, so as I mentioned before, we have 3 monetization increments. I'm not going to go through those again. Just be ready to monetize like never before. I did mention we're going to be bringing payout diversification, so anyone in the world can get paid. We're bringing also some audio room improvements on web, okay? And I'm going to talk a little bit about this too. The first one is, as you know, we have audio on web. And right now, when you go to audio on web, you will only see on stage the creator of the room. So you could have 5 people on stage, but you will still see the creator there, right? We're going to change that because we're starting to see a lot of rooms that there's great conversations on stage. We're having creators coming, and we're starting to do moderation. And we're going to be bringing the increment where we're going to actually show more than just the creator on stage on web. And I think there's going to be a lot of value there because we're going to give visibility to those that are talking in the audio room. That's one. The second one is we're also for those that enjoy recurring rooms just like mine or create recurring rooms, we're going to have a way for you to be able to see all those recurring rooms that are going on in Fanbase, almost like a calendar. So you will be able to see what's going on Fanbase at all times directly from the web. And guess what? Right from there, you're going to be able to join the room if it's the right time. But also, we're going to be bringing, some of you call it the hallway. I call it the more technical, I call it the listing of public rooms. We are bringing that on web as well. All of this has an objective. We're not just doing it because one day we woke up and we say, hey, let's just bring more people to stage. Let's just bring, listings of audio rooms on web. We're wanting to give more visibility to the amazing conversations that are happening. And we're seeing that web is driving a lot of views, a lot of users that turn into, users in the community. So we want to push more of that, right? So I think after Q3, we're able to achieve all these increments. Some of them are small, some of them are larger. The eyes and ears on audio are going to be more than ever. And we're excited about that as well, okay? I mentioned the field refactor. That's looking at the roadmap, mid-June is going to be ready. The team is already testing it. Sometimes the speed of development is not determined by how many iOS, Android, or API developers we have. As a team in an agile environment, if you have your team a little bit unbalanced where you might need more QA, that can slow down the process. So that's why when I always say part of the money that we're going to use in the race, we're not just going to throw bodies at the development team. We're going to be strategically growing it so we can gain speed. And sometimes gaining speed might mean, hey, you know what? While we might bring new QA resources, we also want to start automating a lot of the testing. So we don't have to wait for the QA team to test it in 2 sprints, right? So I'm confident that as we grow in this race, a lot of these increments that are taking us a long time to implement are going to take us less and less. And that doesn't mean necessarily because we have more people. I want to keep our development team as nimble as possible. Let me see. I'm looking here. What else are we missing? We are going to be doing some small increments on web as well, so we can have a further user growth as well. Small things. I did mention before, but I always like to repeat it. If I had to ask you, where do you think most of the traffic is landing on Fanbase? Someone might say, you know what, yeah, Fanbase.app, duh. Guess what? It's not. Most of the traffic is landing on your public profiles on web. So a lot of people are seeing your content when you share it out there. They're clicking, they're going to your profile, and then from there, some of them, or a lot of them, are turning into users. We want to drive, and we want to change that a lot to most of them are turning into Fanbase users. So we're doing our due diligence. We're doing small web increments so we can drive those views into users, into followers, into subscribers for you. But what you can do to help us is continue sharing your content outside Fanbase. That's so important. While you might think that it doesn't make a difference, coming from me, that I'm looking at insights with the team every single day, every morning with my coffee, I'm looking at insights, I can tell you that it makes a difference. So share, and share, and we'll keep improving Fanbase so those shares turns into followers for you. I promise you that, okay? So web increments to help that in Q2 is coming as well, all right? So that's a little bit of Q2. Like I mentioned before, we're planning as well, planning for Q3 already. In fact, today in our product call, Nikki, our business analyst, said, so Rama, what's going to happen in Q3? And I love that she asked that because, again, we're getting away from month by month or even quarter by quarter. Let's just think about beyond that. So we have a few things on the pipeline there. One thing that I will tell you is that Carousel is going to come because I promised you guys that. We will do another voting or what would you love to see in Fanbase very soon as well, so we can maybe start planning for Q4. But definitely there's a lot of great stuff. I will say that in Q3, we're going to try to hone in into growing the community within the app. I think there's small things that we can do on profiles, on camps that can really help drive community and drive engagement and reduce the churn rate. So we